I'm gonna tell you, man. I enjoyed that, man. I love to sit down, listen to Moreh Khazaq bring it, and it's been long overdue, and I was able to experience it today. I know everybody a little tired, so I promise y'all I ain't gonna be long, cause I ain't got no set lesson, right? I just want to piggyback on something that.
Land me back.
Huh?
Land me back.
What is it?
Land me back.
Land me back. Oh. No pig, I got you. All right. Something he had read in that 1 Peter that struck me, that was really deep, and I guess I want to kind of build off of that, you all. Okay, so I'm not going to be long-winded. I just want to touch on this. What was that? 1 Peter 3rd chapter, right?
3:19.
And 3:19, right?
1 Peter?
Uh-huh. Where was that when he says, for in times past, by which he reached, with sometime time past, when the one long suffering, that was the word, you read the word Gentiles in here, didn't you? Walked in the ways of the Gentiles, I think you read. And I'm looking all over it.
Was that? I thought that was Luke.
Huh?
Was that Luke? Oh yeah. 4. Chapter 4. 1 Peter chapter 4.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Todah. I was into the other right. But yeah, interesting. That's what I want to lammy back. Veggie back. Lettuce back on that. 1 Peter 4, and he says, third, for the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles. And I want to focus on that because, and the reason why I want to focus on that because the way Peter's saying that, he's letting you know right there that the ways of the Gentiles is not where you want to walk.
Right.
Huh? And that's what caught me. Right?
Right.
Okay. Where's that at? That's on Matthew 7 chapter when he talks about the broad way and narrow way. Somebody get that for me. What's that, 7? Is it?
7 and 13.
7 and 13. Yeah. 7 and 13. Right. Okay. 13 verses that?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction.
Okay. Broad is the way. He said, don't go into that broad way. Right. Go into the straight gate. Right? We got a remnant in here. 10, 11 people maybe in here that's observing Passover. Right? How many times do you think the word Passover is here in these scriptures? How many times do you think the word Passover is in the scriptures?
More than Easter.
That's the answer. That is the answer. More than Easter. But let's see if you can count this. How many times the word Easter is in there?
Is it one time?
One time. And it was mistranslated. But the fact that it was one time. Huh?
They substituted and put that in.
They substituted and put that in. But that's only the King James version.
Right.
Other versions say Passover in that spot right there. Pesach, right? Right. So, explain to me something. How is the whole world, and specifically the world that you said, wearing a Sunday best, and they at the big, see, they don't have this right here. They had the one that they can barely pick up.
Right.
Like that one right there, the big one.
Like this one.
See, right. See, this right here means to them, that brother don't read no Bible, it's a little bit too small. But you come with something big, oh yeah, right? But wait a minute, you look like that.
Right.
But yet and still, you can't read Easter, and you dressed up, and the whole world tomorrow was gonna be waking up early morning to worship this observance called Easter. But if I ask you where the name Easter comes from, what happens? Huh? Huh? Right. I never thought about it. Because they don't know where to find it in the scriptures, believe me. They don't know where it's at in the scriptures, you know. But like you, huh?
Easter from Eastar, from the one of the pagan gods.
Right, right. Ishtar, Eoster, Astarte, all the different versions of Easter. A pagan goddess that had 100-something breasts. Fertility goddess, right. You know, brother online asked me the other day, bro, where'd you get that from? I say the same place you get it from if you do the research. That brother say, where'd you get that from? Same place you'll get it from if you do the research. You know, don't ask me something like it's some hidden book, secret book. Get on your phone. Where does Easter come from? And then break down. Easter comes from Ishtar, the pagan goddess of fertility, right? Another term they call her is, what's another term they give her?
Queen Mother.
Oh, come on.
Queen of Heaven.
Let's read about that. Jeremiah 7, and I think that's 44 if I'm not mistaken. You know, in Chicago on the west side, when you're going down 290, and you see the grave site over there and Hilldale, whatever, what's the name of it? The cemetery right there, when you're on 290, and it's on like Wolf Road or something like that, like Maywood. It's called the Queen of Heaven.
It's called Queen of Heaven?
Right, it's called Queen of Heaven there, yeah. Queen of Heaven is a very popular Catholic term. Right, but so what it says here, I think that's 7 and, it is 7?
You got 7 and 18?
7 and 18. Oh man, come on. Come on, I see, hit this deep. Man. Jeremiah 7 and 18, you got it? You got it?
Yeah.
Read that.
The children gather wood, and the fathers kindle the fire, and the women knead their dough to make cakes to the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto other deities, that they may provoke me to anger.
Right. Oh, wait a minute. I ain't supposed to be talking about this and about how you worship God, right? We ain't supposed to be having no conversation about you who God is better, whatever, right? But you read this to people, they don't want to hear this. Because this is another name for Easter. She's the Queen of Heaven. That comes from Catholicism. Here's a passage that really changed my life when I read it. Where's that at, Tonda? That's Jeremiah 2 and 14, I think. And as a father give me these things, you gotta make me get the, because it's just, you know, it's all throughout the, see, and that's what we was having a conversation earlier in the car, and I was explaining to them concerning how people mistake this for religion. But you can't look at this as a religion. You gotta look at this as a culture, as a history. This is one of the greatest history books that's ever been written. And so when I just read the Father saying he had indignation against those that worship the Queen of Heaven and bake cakes, because Passover is also unleavened bread. We ain't really baking really nothing. We ain't got dough and kneading it, because that's yeast, right, rising. So but they ain't trying to eat nothing unleavened tomorrow. They got cakes upon cakes and dough. It's part of their Easter dynamic, right? To the Queen of Heaven. Let me see. Where is that at? That's
I can't find it.
Okay.
The Queen of Heaven?
No, it's have a nation change their Elohim, man. Oh man, let me tell you something. When I read that verse, man, I fell out of my seat. Yeah, Google that. Yeah, Google that for me. I should have had that.
Ezekiel 5 and 6.
No, that can't be it. That can't be it.
No, that's not it.
No, that ain't it. 3 and it's in Jeremiah, because he done already told us about what the heathens do. the Gentiles do.
Jeremiah 2:11.
2:11. That rung out right there. When you said 5 and 6, I said that don't sound right. But 2:11, that sounds perfect. Hallelujah.
And the nations changed their Elohim for their God, which are yet no God.
No gods, y'all.
But my people have changed their dignity for that which does not profit.
Right. That's the question. Have any of these nations changed their God, their Elohim? Huh? When I read that verse, it floored me. Because it already bro, when you talk about going up in a church and you got questions, you at that time do not understand. Like me. Like, I know that my heart is right. And I seek to do the will of the Father. But there are some things I'm looking at here that even though I don't even know it,
Right, thank you.
it don't feel right in my spirit.
Right.
My mother read this to me as a child. I don't know why. She read this to me. Revelation 12:9. Somebody grab that for me. Revelation 12:9. Let's put this together. Revelation 12:9. And when you got it, read it. Oh, hold on 1 second. Revelation 12:9. My mother read this to me as a child. Why, I have no idea, but she read it. Go ahead.
And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent.
Oh, I'm sorry. So at the very end,
Yep.
the very last book. The very last book. Revelation 12:9. Last book of the scriptures. Last book of the scriptures. Revelation 12:9. Go ahead. Oh, okay. You still turning? Okay.
Okay. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceives the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
That was a seed planted in me as a child.
Wow.
Wait, so
See the whole world.
I'm trying to figure out what that means. I'm trying to figure out what that means. Because where my church is, the next block got 3 churches. And then the next block got a few churches.
Right.
So this can't be like in my time, because it has to be these churches,
You got going on.
they got it going on. But wait a minute. I thought about it. How in the world that, what's the world's best-selling book in the world? The Bible. But in the very same Bible, it tells you that the whole world has been deceived. Huh?
The whole world.
The whole world been deceived.
Not just the black people.
Right. Right. The whole world has been deceived. So that's telling me that right there, by process of elimination, it tells me that somebody's not following this book. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to everybody? That if the whole world is deceived, and if, putting it together, Matthew 7 chapter says, broad is the way to destruction, and there be many that go in, and the whole world is deceived. That means that by process of elimination, whatever the whole world is doing, in the name of God, which the Gentiles have not changed their gods.
Right.
We were talking about this in the car earlier.
And 2 Corinthians says that Satan is the God of this physical.
Right. Let's look at that real quick. Let's look at that again.
2 Corinthians 4:4.
Let's look at that again. 2 Corinthians 4:4.
Go ahead.
Yeah, read that. See, unless you read this from a historical, real perspective, you're not going to really get any of this. But when you put this piece by piece and understand who's who and who's not, historically, it begins to unravel real simple. So I'm trying to make this simple. I'm trying to show that everything the Gentiles has bought us as a people by process of elimination is wrong. I'm going to show that again, but read that.
Well, if we read from verse 3, it says, "But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost."
The captive, the lost are the captive.
Yes.
Yes. Go ahead.
In whom the God of this world has blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious... Oh, that's not it.
Yeah.
That's not it?
Nope. Lest the...
Verse 4, in whom the God of this world hath blinded.
Oh, yeah,
That's fine.
that's it.
That's fine. In whom the gods of the world has blinded. The gods which the Gentiles have not changed, bro.
Right.
They have not changed. The same Easter that they worshiping tomorrow is the same Easter they were worshiping before Yahshua came 2,000 years ago. Huh? Let's look at something else that these Gentiles do. Jeremiah is full of the pagan worship, right? Where I'm going. 10th chapter. Jeremiah 10th chapter. Let's read something else. Because see, they have not changed their gods. They have not changed over to YAH, the Elohim of Israel. That's why they changed his name, right? Jeremiah 10th chapter. What does this sound like? Go ahead. Somebody give me that. Verse 1.
Hear ye the word which Yahweh speaketh.
Right, the word.
O house of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen.
Oh, you can say Gentiles there. Learn not the way of the heathen.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. For the heathen are dismayed at them.
He said, learn not the way of the heathen. That's Easter. That's Christmas.
Right.
They tell you New Year's is January the 1st.
Right.
Named after Janus, a two-headed god, deity, their god again. Don't learn that. Don't learn. He said, don't learn that. Beware of that. Go ahead.
For the customs of the people are vain. For one...
Okay, real quickly. What's another word for customs? I like how the Father leaves it. It's amazing how the Father works this. Another word for customs is for traditions. Do you all understand that? Keep that in mind. Go ahead.
For the customs of the people are vain.
Vain, meaning they're nothing. Matter of fact, the next place we go to, I'm going to show you that vain. Traditions. Go ahead.
For one cutteth a tree out of the forest.
Oh, so this is the one they custom. They go to the forest and they cut down a tree. Ain't nothing wrong with cutting down a tree. Because a tree has purposes when we cut it down, right? We get heat from the tree. We get this from a tree, right? So they cut down the tree. What else do they do with that tree that they cut down?
The work of the hands of the workmen with the axe.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Go ahead.
Deck it with silver and with gold.
Now we got a problem.
And fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not.
Right. They deck it with silver and gold. That's not what we do. They deck it with the tree minding its own business. Out there, has been around for, we don't know how long that tree been planted out there. Minding its own business. We go out there, chop it down, then we bring it into another place. Because when you chop it down, that means it's not going to be where it was already at. You're chopping it down to bring it into another place. And they deck it, use the word deck it. And these heathens that have not changed their God say what? What do they say?
Deck the halls.
Deck the halls with balls of folly. Or if you're watching Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, what's the song on that one?
Had a little shiny nose.
Silver and gold.
Oh, silver and gold.
Silver and gold.
Decorations.
Wait, did we just read silver and gold just now?
Yep.
Did we just read that in the script? What? Let's read that again. I'm sorry.
They deck it with silver and gold.
Okay, they deck it with silver and gold. That Rudolph thing, see, we think that, and we got our kids watching that, and somehow okay, you know Jesus was born December 25th, and then Santa Claus,
Which is really Satan. Which is really Satan.
And again, they put it right there in your face, but you're not supposed to be smart enough to catch that.
Right.
But this cat named Satan Claus or Santa Claus, he knows what you've been doing. He knows who's been bad and who's been good.
Right. Okay.
And you need to worship him in order to be blessed with the gifts that he's going to bring you. Finish that out. They deck it with silver and gold.
They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not.
They don't speak.
They must needs be born.
Meaning that whatever that tree needs, you have to bring it to it. Because see, the thing is, the heathens worship this tree, the evergreen tree. That's what they did. This is what Christmas is all about. They worship this tree. And what happens is that on the shortest day of the year, or they call it the rebirth of the sun, December 25th. So you all seen it when the days begin shorter, then December 25th come around the winter solstice, and now the days begin to get longer again. This is an ancient heathen custom that they did, right? And so you, not the tree, you put the gifts under this tree, right? And then on December 25th in the morning, December 25th. Where is that in the scriptures, December 25th?
Nowhere.
Nowhere. Nowhere. If it ain't nowhere, then how was Jesus born on December 25th if it's not in the scriptures anywhere?
Tradition.
Huh?
It's a tradition.
So it's a shame as a grown person we still talking about he was born on December 25th when we ain't even read it nowhere. You ain't read it nowhere, but you're gonna teach your children this, right? But you got this beautiful tree decked with silver and gold. See, we can't afford silver and gold now, so we get the baubles, silver and gold, and put it on there. Right? See, we doing stuff we don't even know where it comes from. But they know where it comes from. And why they know where it comes from? Because they have not changed their gods. They want you to worship their God. Right? Change his name to Zeus. If you Google Zeus' birthday, you're going to read it's December 25th. You're going to read it right there. If you Google Zeus' birthday, it's going to say December 25th. Zeus, the supreme god of the Greeks. Right? But your children come down and see the tree and see the presence there, and they bow down to receive the gifts. Bow down to that tree. Right? Because it means the tree God bless you with these gifts. But the tree God can't even put his own silver and gold on them, right? As we just read. But that's one of the customs. So they worship the Queen of Heaven, one of their gods, and she's Easter, the Astarte, or Eoster, or however many ways they pronounce it here. It's the same God, Easter. Right? And again, it ain't hidden. You Google Easter, just Google it, and it will tell you the exact same thing. Not no hidden knowledge or whatever. The thing is that the scripture said we got to save ourselves from this on-tour generation. Or what's the other one in the Philippians? Save us. It's something about saving ourselves, not no.
On the on-tour generation.
Yeah, well, that's what it said. There was another one about saving, about having to save yourself or whatever. But we just can't put our trust in man. We got to understand what it is. Oh, so this is where I want to go. I want to go to Mark, the 7th chapter. That's where I want to go, Mark 7th chapter. Let me know if this makes sense. And again, I'm winging this, y'all. I ain't got no lesson here, but we winging this. Mark 7th chapter. We're going to go right to the point. Jeremiah said that the customs of the people are vain. Vain meaning useless, nothing. It don't mean nothing. Meaning that if I get up early in the morning, going to worship, but I'm worshiping something other than YAH, it's in vain. And I'm singing and I'm shouting, bro, and I'm doing all these things. Playing the organ, directing the choir, whatever, but it's vain. Huh?
Start at verse 1.
Okay, Mark 7, what did you say?
Start at verse 1.
No, I'm going to go directly to the point.
7?
Yeah, let's go, verse 5. I don't want to read that whole thing. I want to, but I'm not. Verse 5.
Then the Pharisees and the scribes asked him, Why walk your disciples according to the traditions of the elders, but eat bread?
Slow down for 1 second. Slow down for 1 second. When I be seeing people turning, I want them to get that. Okay. Mark 7, verse 5. Start that again, one more time.
Then the Pharisees...
You got it, Desiree? Mark 7?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it? Oh, I'm sorry. I got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Then the Pharisees and scribes asked him, Why walk not your disciples according to the traditions of the elders, but eat bread with unwashed hands?
Right. Now, they let you know this is a tradition of the elders. Right. Not a commandment of the Most High. I mean, they couldn't go into the law and say, you see, the law says you need to wash your hands before you eat that bread. No, it's a tradition of the elders. Why do your disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? Go ahead.
He answered and said unto them, Well hath Isaiah prophesied of you hypocrites, as it is written, This people honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me.
Honor me with their lips, and their heart is far from me. See, that's another problem we got. If I stood up here, and if I could sing, which I cannot, and I sounded like Luther Vandross right here, and I'm doing it, what term would the people give me? I am what?
Imitating?
I am what? What's the word?
Lip syncing?
No, begin with A. I'm anointed.
Yeah.
I'm anointed.
Right. You see how
Right. So I'm sounding like Luther Vandross, and I'm bringing it.
Right, yeah.
Right? You don't know what I did last night. You don't know what I'm about to do after I get off this pulpit. But I'm bringing that spirit to you, and you feeling it. That dude's anointed.
Oh, you talk Chicago, you sing with Nicki Minaj.
Huh?
Nicki anointed.
Right. Exactly. I'm anointed. I do Johnny Gill right now. That brother, man, he's anointed. Right? And the truth of the matter is, I would be anointed because that is my gift. But I'm not using my gift for good, though.
Right.
See, that's the key thing. People out here are anointed, but they're not using their anointed for the real. To wake up our people, to show them truth. It's only to make you feel good. And whatever bad stuff you dealt with, you got fired, your man left you, you can't pay your rent. For that one moment, boy, you got that hope. And be like, wow, I'm so glad I went to church today, because I'm walking out here and you don't even think about you walking to a house with the door got a wood. You know, but so that's what church is.
On cloud nine.
On cloud nine, just for that moment. But he said this, he says, and he answered them and said, Well have Isaiah, and that's Isaiah 27 chapter, I believe, or 29, I'm sorry, prophesy of you hypocrites, as it is written, the people, they honor me with their lips all day long, but their heart is far from me. Howbeit in vain, there's that word again, in vain, they worship me.
Go ahead now.
Huh? Mm-hmm. Did you know that you could worship him in vain? See, that's the thing. We never thought that people could go to church and be a vain thing.
Wow.
Huh?
Wow.
We thought it's a beautiful thing that they go into these churches and sing and shout and all that, and it's beautiful. He said you worship him in vain. And how do you worship him in vain? How do you end that?
Teaching for doctrine.
Teaching for doctrine the commandments of men. Okay?
Not the commandments of God.
Not the commandments of the Most High, but the commandments of men. And then, so when you go into Matthew 15 chapter and read that same thing again, Matthew 15 chapter, back it up.
Verse 8.
Yeah, read that same thing again. Let's see how he said it right here.
The people draw nigh unto me with their mouth and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrine the commandments of men.
Right, teaching for doctrine the commandments of men. And one of these places, maybe that was Mark, I think I overlooked it, where he used that term traditions. Did I overlook that?
No,
We did read that.
yeah, teaching for doctrine the traditions of men.
Okay, right. And another word for traditions is what?
Custom.
Custom.
Oh wait, no, we didn't read 8. Yeah.
I didn't read 8. I knew I missed it.
For laying aside the commandment of Elohim, ye hold the tradition of men, as the washing of pots and cups, and many other like things ye do. And he said unto them, full well ye reject the commandment of Elohim, that ye may keep your own tradition.
That you may keep your own tradition. Bro, that what you about to walk into, that's pagan.
Okay.
Right? But you don't want to hear that. because your mother did it, your grandmother did it, you raised up, and you don't want to waste this new suit because this new suit cost you $500.
Yeah.
These shoes cost you $2. You know, some way stupid stuff that we think about. Let's go into a couple more places real quick. Let's go into Deuteronomy 28 chapter.
Israelite University.
Where we at?
Deuteronomy the 28th chapter.
Israelite University chapter.
Yeah. What you say? You said Hebrew Israelite 101. 101. Hebrew Israelite 1. Yeah, Deuteronomy the 28th chapter. Start us at the 32nd verse.
32nd. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and your eyes shall look and fill with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in your hand.
Right. So again, Shemaiah, also known as Moses, is teaching our people before he dies, giving them the last State of the Union address before he dies, right? And he's telling them this is what's going to happen to y'all if y'all don't keep the commandments. Because again, when we think of commandments, we're thinking religion, but is it religion when you stop at a red light? Is that religion? It ain't religion. It's not religion. When you do all the things lawful in this country, it's not religion. When you uphold the Constitution, it's not religion. No one thinks that. But yet, the Gentiles that are absolutely true red, white, and blue Americans, they almost act like it's a religion, but they know that it represents them, it's their custom. You know, so the Father gave us this Constitution right here. See, that's why you have to be careful not to limit this to religion. Understand from a historical dynamic, this was us. This is what the Father gave us to be a people. As you stated earlier, but nobody's supposed to be above us.
Right.
Nobody was supposed to be above us. We can't even conceive that.
Right.
We can't even comprehend that. Just like we can't comprehend, we were talking about this in the car, we can't comprehend Thanksgiving. We think we can, because you go fish the turkey, right? And you do all dressing or whatever. But just like I said, they're thankful of what they have achieved through destruction, killing, and their descendants are still living off of this old. And I know you know because you went to school with a whole bunch of them just now that, you know, because we can't receive that. We're scraping trying to get, you know, you hope you don't get fired from your job, but you might not be able to pay your rent. These people live off old money from their ancestors whose names be bearing the cities and the neighborhoods and the counties. Old money that have never vanished, that they still have. They ain't got to do what you do, but we can't conceive that. These are the real citizens of the United States of America, because you're not a real citizen. And they show you that every time you turn on the news. Officer Jenkins was acquitted for the murder of, you know, we see that almost each and every day, right? Because they understand. We don't understand. When are we going to get justice? We need to march. Father did something so funny to us. It is not only is it hilarious, it's embarrassing. You know, it's like I was telling her, we were talking earlier, I was telling her back in the days when there were only 3 TV networks, right? No cable. What was those 3 TV networks, y'all? What was it?
NBC, CBS,
NBC and PBS. Huh?
Oh,
It went off at 12 o'clock.
I forgot.
Hey, wait a minute, hold up. When it went off at 12 o'clock, what happened? Go! They let you know they ended. See, we all have to remember that. That's funny. That is hilarious.
Static.
You got that,
That's what I heard
you got that
about.
red, Yeah, red, green.
Green, yeah, the screen. If you got up early in the morning, you wanted to watch Bozo or something, you got up there and that same screen was there, and y'all will be the first one when that screen come on. Watch it. 6 o'clock in the morning, we begin our daily program or whatever. Can you imagine that? 3
go off.
Not even.
It just keeps going. Right.
Cause I was talking about Roots, like you was talking about my experience with Roots in '77 when it came out in '77.
Right.
And when it came out, you wasn't watching it later on VHS or whatever. The whole world set at ABC Channel Plus, Channel 7 or whatever it is, and watched it 7 days.
Yeah.
Okay,
Running together.
Those were the good old days.
right, those were good. I was going somewhere with this, but I did a Khazaq. I did a Khazaq. I just got sidetracked. But
It's all good.
what verse was I just at?
Deuteronomy 32. We just finished it.
Thank you.
It's called
Thank
a senior
you.
moment.
Huh?
It's called a senior moment.
Oh, right. That's right. Right. He said, thy sons and daughters shall be given to another people, and thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. There shall be no might in thy hand.
He was talking about Roots, how when you
Yeah, this
saw
is
one
the
out of
curses
hell.
that Moses.
Right.
Yeah, this is the curses that Moses gave down. State of the Union address.
Right.
The last day.
Exactly. That's right. Exactly. Right. Continue reading. There was a specific place where I'm going with this, though. Go ahead.
The fruit of your hand and all your labors shall a nation which you know not eat up, and you shall be only oppressed and crushed always.
So when you understand that historically these are black people that we're talking to here, where was this speech being given? What continent was this speech being given on?
Africa.
Huh?
Africa.
Africa.
Right in the desert.
Just outside of Egypt, of Mizraim. These were black people. He wasn't prophesying of a white people being
From Europe.
taken into captivity,
Right.
sons and daughters being gone somewhere else. He was talking about these Egyptian looking people.
Right.
And the word Egypt means black. Right? Huh? See, the history is there. Okay, so it says this. It's someplace where I'm going here. Go ahead.
So that you shall be mad for the sight of your eyes, which you shall see.
Skip down to that 36th verse.
Verse 6. Yahweh shall bring you and your king, which you shall set over you, unto a nation which neither you nor your fathers have known. And there shall you serve other deities, wood and stone.
That's where I was going
other
with this.
gods.
Right, that's where I'm going with this. He shall bring you and your king unto a nation which neither you nor your fathers have known. You've never seen the likes of these people ever, ever. And he says, there where you serve other gods, wood and stone, right? So when you pass by these churches and you see a figure of, the man and stone figure, what's that image? What's his name? Huh? But that's what he's called, Jesus. Right? Because see, our Father told us not to make graven images. He said, you didn't see no parts of me when I spoke to you out of the fire. You didn't see no similitude of me. So we can't make no image and say, this represents God. The scripture tells us not to do that.
Right.
It tells us not to do that. That's the first commandment of the 10 Commandments.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
But then you go to these churches and they got the figures right there. This is God right there. God.
Got the
You got them big Bibles and you open it up, they got them real pleasant pictures of God. Like we was watching the Good Times episode earlier on the way here. You know, and you saw it.
Oh yeah, right.
Florida worshiped this image. She worshiped it. And when Michael put that other image up there, he was lucky to live past that day. She was on, but that was all of us though. All of us. I'm old enough to remember a time when most of us did not understand that that's not true.
Had that white Jesus,
White
with the little
Jesus
thing around his head.
Yeah, the halo, the halo, yeah. And we literally worship that image. Literally worship it. Huh? You know? But the point that I'm making is, he said that when I send you into these other nations, and you read, I don't think I'm going to read it now, with a yoke of iron on our necks. It's right here in this chapter. Yes. By process of elimination, I keep. What? Huh?
And that vision, the visual.
Yeah. Whatever God, see, I'm the dude. I'm the slave master, right? And all y'all got a yoke of iron on the neck, and y'all come and march before me, and I'm inspecting you, and I'm telling you, look, I'm giving you a new name. Right. I don't even want to know what your name was, right. And you bet not say what your name. I don't want to hear it. Your name is Toby.
Toby.
This is Jesus. By process of elimination, whatever God they give you is not the Most High.
Right.
By process of elimination, whatever religion that these heathens have, whatever church they try to get you to go to, he already said, in the nations which I send you, and you're going to be worshiping other gods of wood and stone. That's not the truth. Right. Worshiping Easter, that's not the truth. That's not what the truth is. And again, when I say truth, I'm talking about history. Because history can't be changed. Right. History can't be changed. See, that's what I'm saying. If you want truth, let history be your foundation. Your religion should not be something that's real. Oh, I went to this church here and the preacher preached good and made my spirit feel good. That's our history. But that's the reason why we suffer more than any other people. Watch this. Matter of fact, before I get out of Deuteronomy 28, and I don't mean to take a long time, go down to the end of that. Oh man.
Take your time. Don't rush.
Okay.
We got till 6 o'clock.
Okay. What time is it? 5:59? You go as long as you want to, brother, as long as you don't go past 6 o'clock. That's funny. Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, and people are hard saying, who can hear it? Verse 63. Oh, yeah. Verse 62.
And ye shall be left few in number.
Wait, I'm sorry. Just for understanding's sake. Just for understanding's sake. No, go up to 45, because this is the foundation of this chapter. And I don't want nobody to miss this. Okay. 28:45.
All right. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon you, and shall pursue you, and overtake you, till you be destroyed, because you hearken not unto the voice of Yahuwah your Elohim, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded you. And they shall be upon you for a sign and for a wonder, and upon your seed forever.
So everything that we're reading, he says these curses shall be upon you for us. This is how you identify the chosen people right here. Right. If you can tell me that you and your people experience this right here in a nutshell, ain't no debate. You a Hebrew. Mm-hmm. But if you can speak your own language, bro, and tell me your nationality, whatever, and your father's nationality, you tell me your custom. No, you're not. You know, like that's how they do with the Native Indians or whatever. You know, some Indians had us in captivity too.
Yeah.
Huh? That's what I'm saying. See, history is not something that you can play with. And if you know history, you're not going to be deceived. It's as simple as that. So here it is. Here it says, more of all these curses come upon thee and pursue thee and overtake thee till you restore. And see, that's the thing that people don't understand, and we alluded to earlier, and I'm going to the book, but the Father loved Abraham. He made an everlasting covenant with Abraham. Mm-hmm. And Abraham lived according to the covenant that he made with him, and he died in it. And in that covenant, he told him about his seed that was going to come out and be a mighty nation, right? Abraham never saw that nation. Right. He died. Never said that always trips me out every time I think about it. He never saw it, and he died before. But the promise still lived, still existed. Isaac, his son, never saw this nation until he named his son Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, Yashrael. That's when we know who this seed is, right? But even then, Yashrael, Israel, was never a nation. Never came into a nationhood. That's crazy when you think about it. They received the promise. Then he had the 12 tribes, 12 sons. Levi, Benjamin, Yehuda, Simeon, our forefathers. Did they ever see a nation of Israel? Huh?
No, they were dead by the
No.
Huh?
They died.
by the time of Passover, they were all gone.
By their own name, they never saw a nation. When they lived, they was either subject to the Mizraim, Egyptians, or they were subject to Canaan. But when they came back into Egypt, that's when we served for 400 years. The 12 patriarchs was long gone. Matter of fact, Esther said that there was a king who knew not Joseph, right? Joseph knew him not. That just lets you know how long ago they was gone. But they knew that they would eventually be a nation, like Abraham knew. See, that's deep when you really think about it. See, man, we be thinking stuff is just, for the present time or whatever. The Father word is consistent, and it has no concept of time. He wants us to know that, hey, I'm still reigning on high. And right now, your ancestors is the one that caused you to go into this captivity. Your ancestors is the one that caused you. Bro, I'm telling you, you look in the mirror and all you see is a person. You don't even know who that person is. Ain't that, come on. Right, but we've been conditioned to not even care. I don't care. All I know is I'm a child of God. Yeah. But that Italian ain't gonna tell you that. That Italian Christian ain't gonna tell you that. Right. That Greek Christian, that Ethiopian Christian ain't gonna tell you the same thing. Oh yeah, I'm Ethiopian. My people were the only people that were never colonized. We had Haile Selassie as our king or whatever. We are who the Rastafarians worship in their songs. You know what I'm saying? They can break stuff down to you and be like, oh. We draw a blanket, we try to get past Harriet Tubman. But that's sad, man. That's sad. Because when you understand the effects of what the heathen and the Gentiles have done to us by stripping us of these things, first understand that they can only do what the Father allowed them to do. That's and right. We're reading it right here. Right? Now here goes something that's hard to hear. I had to go there to show what we was reading. But when you go down to what'd I say? 62. But you know what? A little bit of this. Let's go to 59.
Then Yahuwah will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed even great plagues, and of long continuance, and sore sickness, and of long continuance. Moreover, he will bring upon you all the diseases of Mizraim, which you was afraid of, and they shall cleave unto you.
Cleave unto you, meaning that no matter how far you run, it ain't letting go. It ain't letting go.
Yeah.
Huh? Okay. Somebody like call out some, huh?
Like a leech.
Like a leech. Call out some diseases. Let's see. Cancer. Who suffer more from cancer than any other people on the face of the earth? Well, she ain't making that up.
That's right.
Hypertension, high blood pressure. And I have to admit, it's sad. I'm a truck driver. Right now, I gotta take my exam when I get back to Jacksonville. It's about to run out. And I'm on pins and needles hoping I can pass this bad boy. Remember I had posted 2 weeks ago that I was in the hospital because I had tried to take it then. My blood pressure too high. I'm a pescatarian, y'all. I have not had meat in how many years?
About 10.
At least 10. Right. I don't eat meat. I have a very decent diet. I work out, but it's cleaving to me.
Yeah.
Bro, we see these Gentiles 5 times my size, can barely get up in the truck, and they ain't got hypertension. Right.
And they can eat anything.
Right.
They really can.
They eat pig and all that stuff. And I'm not saying I want to. I'm just saying they eat that junk.
I can run and walk, not straight run and walk right now to downtown Atlanta right now. I guarantee you. But no problem. No problem. Because I do that. What I'm doing with blood pressure, sometimes going up to 188 over 118. That's crazy.
It's crazy, but you have to remember, they don't have the stress stored in their cells that we do.
Come on.
They don't have
Come
the trauma
on.
stored in them.
Come on. Come
that
on.
stuff from slavery and all that
Come
is still
on.
in their DNA.
Come on.
So we're still operating in that, whether we know it or not.
Yes.
So that makes our blood
Yes.
pressure go up.
Yes.
And not only that, but the daily trauma and fear. Like, even if I were to get in my car right now, I would be tense, worried about a cop pulling me over. I might not live through that.
Right.
They don't go through
Might
that.
not. Right.
They don't.
That's
They don't
that
deal with
verse.
the financial stuff. They don't
Visiting
deal
the
with
iniquities.
anything.
That was that verse we just read about you being afraid day and night in Deuteronomy 28.
Right. Right.
So you shall be mad for the sight
Sight of your eyes that thou shalt see. Right. But check this out though. This right here is a shaker right here. Where did I leave off at?
61.
Right.
61. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will Yahuwah bring upon you until you be destroyed.
Not written in the book. Ain't no age written in this book.
Right.
HIV, that ain't in here. Right? But we are the leaders of that. Hepatitis. Sickle cell anemia.
Yeah. They didn't have cancer back then.
Huh?
Shonda teaches a lesson on health, and in it she says cancer was a new disease. If you go back more than 100 years ago, there was no such thing as cancer.
Right.
That's a new
And you know what?
It's
To
a
go
vitamin
with-
deficiency.
Huh?
It's a vitamin deficiency.
Right. And to go back to what you said, Terry, which was absolutely 100% true, we have to understand also the diet that we've eaten for generations. For generations.
Yeah, okay.
Generations. Generations,
Yeah.
Aki.
It's-
Generations.
Visiting the iniquities.
Huh?
Visiting the iniquities.
Right. Whatever that white dude allowed us to eat is what we ate.
Right.
And what did we eat? The scraps. We are made of that. So ain't that something? It
It's in our
goes
DNA.
on into that, right?
What 46?
Right. Bro, why you got hypertension? Is that part of your family? Don't ask me no stupid questions. Because you know it's a part of my family.
Right.
You know that's where my family came out of. Family down there in Louisiana talking about some Mardi Gras with the gumbo and the crayfish and all type of abominations down. Huh?
All that stuff we shouldn't be eating.
You shouldn't be eating. Right. You shouldn't be eating.
Raccoons, muskrats.
Right. Check this out. Go ahead.
And you should be left few in number, whereas you were as the stars of heaven for multitude, because you would not obey the voice of Yahuwah your Elohim. And it shall come to pass that as Yahuwah rejoiced over
There you go. There you go. Wait, before you read that, just pick it back up again. Abraham kept the commandments. Isaac kept the commandments. And Israel, Jacob, Jacob kept the commandments. So the covenant passed down to them. And that's 19th chapter. We're not going to read it. The father came to Moses and said, go tell them this. Go bring this to them. He had to hear what they would say about it. He was entering into a covenant with them, right? Moses gave them the words of the law, words of the covenant. And what did the elders respond with?
He said
all that you said we would do.
All that he said we shall do. See, it wasn't the father came to them like, this is what y'all have to do. This is what y'all gonna have to do. And if you don't do it, you're gonna get it. No, just like a marriage. When somebody proposes to you in a marriage, you choose to accept the marriage proposal or you choose to not accept the marriage proposal. I'm the husband, you the wife. We have our roles that we have to play. If you don't want to be my wife, that's your choice. You are not bounded by no law of being, whatever, right? But this is the way the Father dealt with us and entered into this covenant. If the Father didn't have to say all that I said we will do, because he's the Father. No, y'all are the wife. When you said all that he said, we will do. So you chose that. you enter into a covenant. Same thing like I'm signing this covenant, i.e. contract, that I'm to pay $300 every month to ride in this 2017 Chevy Malibu. When I break that covenant, there's a chance I might look outside in the driveway and it might not be there. They held their end of the covenant. I didn't hold my end to the covenant. So I'm just saying, when we read this without understanding that this was a mutual agreement that happened, then we can understand why the Father would pour out this indignation on us, right? Okay, so read where we left off there.
And you should be left few in number, whereas you were as the stars of heaven for multitude, because you would not obey the voice of Yahuwah.
Right.
And it shall come to pass that as Yahuwah rejoiced over you to do you good and to multiply you, so Yahuwah will rejoice over you to destroy you.
He will rejoice over you. And that's a hard one, man. Because of our ignorance. Where was God when we was being put on them slave ships? Where was God when our sister went out there and got killed? Where was God when the police officer went to this brother's car with his...
I know.
Orlando Castell? Every time I think of that, I'll be like, man, white sitting right there next to him, child in the back. He unload on him. You know, where was God at? You know? When a little dude went and minded his own business with a tea and Skittles or whatever. Right. Where was God at? See, that's what we say in our ignorance because we have not read this.
Right.
The Father said, just as I rejoiced over you to do you good, I will rejoice over you to destroy you. That's the true God. You're not going to go in no church and read and the preacher's going to tell you that. Because you might not go back to church again. Oh, damn, that's God for real? Huh? Really? But see, we as a people have to understand that I don't care how you feel about it, the Father's still going to continue to work the same way He's been working until we get ourselves together.
Right.
Huh? And He's waking us up.
Yes.
He's waking us up. You've been in this walk for how long now?
About 30 years.
30 years. And so me and you matching 30 years. And we can testify of a time when the average person, you know, it was a void. Much different from where we see it now, right? And it's all the Father's doing. And this day and age, He's waking us up. And got this dude in office right now to help us wake up even more.
Okay. That's right.
Oh, that's what I was saying. That's
years.
what I'm saying. This was funny.
No, to wake us up.
Don't y'all know there was a time that we said, man, well, if we ever get a black president, if we ever get a black president in that office, in the Oval Office right there, it'll be over with. We'll be good. And the Father was so, he's rejoicing. Just like rejoicing, guess what? I'm gonna get y'all with that president. And guess what? I ain't gonna let him sit that for 4 years. I'm gonna give him 8 years.
And make our time worse than when Bush did his 8 years.
Right. Because very few presidents did 8 years. It's like a handful that did 2 terms. And that black man was one of them.
The funny thing though, a lot of Hebrews were jumping on that bandwagon.
You remember that, Aki? You remember it? Yeah, that's funny. Absolutely. You remember that.
He gonna be he the new Moses.
Right.
Ushers back to the land.
Right. Hey, what's that mean? Hey, how that mean when I showed you earlier today?
Oh, he said
he had on his little cabana hat.
Sipping something. Trump did what? Y'all better be careful.
Trump, he said Trump did what? Man, that's cold-blooded. You be careful out there.
That's Obama.
He had on his little Florida shirt, Bahamas shirt with this Trump did what? Man, that's messed up.
But they're all being manipulated for the one world rule.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but all of the different cameras that you see on the freeways, they're all gearing up for that chip to be implanted into people, and that chip actually is scientific thing. It does more than just give your identity. It also changes your DNA, which is why God will not recognize you any longer to be His.
Yeah, that RFID chip, what we call it.
So that's why He says don't accept it.
Well, that whole law, Obama ushered that in, though.
Son-in-law bought the building.
That's correct. That's
Obama
good
ushered
point.
that in.
Trump's son-in-law, his daughter's son, who happens to be Jewish,
Right.
bought the building in New York, that 666 address building.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, where that chip was first started.
Yeah.
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 bought the building.
With the Affordable Care Act,
Right.
there were portions of the Affordable Care Act that I read,
Right.
and it pertained to the RFID chip.
RFID chip,
And
yeah.
all of them had to be registered with the government, whether or not it was a heart transplant, whether or not it was with your knee. If you had a chip anywhere, because those, what's those chips they give you for your heart? They want you pacemakers. Those are RFIDs. They are RFIDs. That's exactly what they are, and that is in there, and they have to be registered with the government. Obama ushered that in with the ACA.
Wow.
He ushered that in. That was him. That was no other president. They used him.
He also
ushered that in.
beheading in there.
Wow.
Obama.
Right. Right. That's right.
Yeah, that people can, that they're bringing back that
But
martial law.
even when he was in office, during the time when Tamir Rice, during the time of Philando Castile, during the time of the little boy playing in the, well, that was Tamir.
Right.
During the time of the other guy who needed help and the cop shot him on the highway. During all that time, instead of Obama passing a law to make it a hate crime to kill a black person without a cause, you know what he did? He turned around and on TV, anybody can Google it, it's there, he passed a law making it a hate crime to kill a cop. Obama did that. It wasn't Bush, that wasn't Trump,
Right.
that was Obama.
Right. And when we talk about the man of sin in Daniel the prophecy, one of the prophecies of the man of sin was that he was gonna have no desire for women, right? We done read that all our lives. Daniel 11 chapter, no desire for women. And then this guy came along, and before he even passed a single law, he just spoke the word. I'm gonna do everything in my power to legalize gay marriage. And did y'all see a difference after he said that? It was a huge difference, an undeniable difference. So this is what I'm saying about that. What I'm saying is that he went above and beyond for the LGBT community,
Say it again.
but he did absolutely nothing for us. All he did for us was give us a good look. Oh, there are no scandals with the beautiful Michelle and Barack and the kids. Something that's what we do every Sunday.
Right.
They give us the hope, but the hope is based off of nothing. Absolutely nothing is founded in that hope. It's crazy. But for them, LGBT got a whole brand new life. A whole new life. Because you look on TV, stuff that wasn't on TV prior to him making a statement is all on TV now. See, people say, well, people got a right to be, but understand the whole mission though. The movement to make us really ingrain that into our lives like that, Because I'm a comic book collector from childhood, I tell everybody this. So when CW started having the shows, Supergirl and Flash and all that, I was hyped. I'm a grown man, hyped about that because I grew up with these characters.
Right.
And how you up and get characters in all of these shows that's supposed to be geared toward kids? It's one thing to put that in Empire
There you go.
or grown people's shows. But you throwing this out to kids, and now you got these cartoons that showing that, and you got curriculums that's teaching them about gays and androgynous and all of these things, transsexual.
Gay history. They passed it in New Jersey to teach
They
gay
teach history, LGBT history, absolutely. That's not happened. And it all started from Barack Obama.
In Chicago, is that spirit experimental city, Chicago?
Man, look, Chicago used to be so conservative when it came down to gay and homosexuals.
Yeah.
I grew up on the south side of Chicago. That was not something, when you were gay in Chicago, you probably went to some Baptist church and did your quiet tambourine thing, or you moved on the north side. But that just not was something that we accepted, you know. So in 83, 80, whatever, we elected our first black mayor, Harold Washington. And today, 20, 30 some years later, we think we got a gay sister as the mayor of Chicago.
Wow. But it started with the Catholic Church.
Huh?
It started with the gay
Okay.
Catholic Church.
Right.
Advertising for gay ministers.
Right.
And you got a gay guy trying to find the president.
Right. And see, and then, so that was my point, actually. When we read the prophecies about this man and sin having no desire for women, you're like, man, what does that mean? But now in this day of age,
You know what it means?
we know what it means.
Wow, that's great.
Huh?
Yeah, because I didn't know what it meant when I first read it. I'm like, yeah, no desire for women. What the-
Right. Right. But he have a desire for something.
Break it down.
Huh? But like you say,
By process of elimination.
you thinking about a gay world ruler was the most furthest thing from your mind, from everybody's mind. But now it's not the furthest thing from your mind now, you know. But the point is, the Bible already broke it down before this time came, man. It's crazy. Let's finish this out, man. I'm about to close out. Let's just finish this. So this is the reason why I went here. I didn't go here for the other verse you read. I went here for this.
63.
Uh-huh.
And it shall come to pass that as Yahuwah rejoice over you to do you good and to multiply you, so Yahuwah will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to nothing.
Nothing, yes.
And you shall be plucked from off the land where you go to possess it.
And we've been plucked off so much, we don't even know what land that is right now. We don't know what land.
Isn't there a time period to this? And
Huh?
past that time period?
No, we ain't past this time period.
For the,
I'm glad you said that. I'm going to show you why we haven't passed that time period. I'm glad you asked that.
The 400 years.
Great cloud?
The 400 years.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, no. That 400 years ain't got nothing to do with us.
okay.
So that's a good question.
You might need to elaborate on that a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good question. We're going to look at that for a minute. All these issues like, oh, this is the 400 years. 1619, 2019. That happens when you read one verse and take it out of context and you don't read the whole dynamic. Read this next verse though.
And Yahuwah shall scatter you among all people, from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there you shall serve other deities, which neither you nor your fathers have known, even wood and stone.
That's right. So that's the reason why I went here, to show you that one of these deities is this Easter that they're going to be worshiping tomorrow throughout the whole world. He said he would scatter his people from one end of the earth unto the other. So I go to France, I see somebody look like me. How did you get here? Oh, we were slaves here in France back in the day.
Right.
We were slaves in England back in the day. We were slaves in Russia back in the day. We were slaves in Asia back in the day. And we ain't got to talk about Africa. But we still there in Africa. Okay. Right. Go ahead.
And among these nations shall you find no evil.
All right. This ain't gonna be a cakewalk for you among these nations.
Right.
Your ancestors didn't get here and stop at that Lady Liberty and read the imprint down there. What that imprint say?
Bring
us
you're sick, you're
tired, you're poor.
Something massive. Bring us your, they came with the hope, the Irish, the Italians, with the hope of the new world. I'm gonna benefit from being over here. Left their own country, the old country, to come to this country to do something they couldn't do even in their own country. That ain't what our history is. We were brought over here for a prey to these people here. Not to be better, but to be the worst, period. And it's continuing like this. So the only way that you can prosper is you have to have a slave class to prosper. In whatever nation you're in, there has to be a slave class for me to be that much more rich, right? Because if I know that I got somebody here working for peanuts, and they say a Snicker bar costs $1 because they can afford a Snicker bar, I can afford an old Snicker company with what I get paid.
Right.
Does that make sense? Because the economy has to be where the slave can eat, and obviously you're gonna much more eat. Where a slave can rent an apartment somewhere, especially like in California, if you just came from California, right? Yeah, the slave can rent an apartment for $900,000, you know, but to think of saving up your money for a $400,000 house, which is the minimum price for houses in California, the thought of owning a house is can't even exist in your mind. I trip on that. South Central, the cheapest house there. South Central, same place you see Boys in the Hood at $300,000+. How do they even think about even buying a house? It's impossible, you know. But so it says here. It says among these nations you should find no ease, and you should have sold thy foot and had no rest. One other place, real quick. I'm sorry. Amos, the 3rd chapter. Amos 3. And y'all know, if we got into the scriptures reading about the same thing about our people, but this is what the whole book is about, the Father's relationship with us as a people. That's what this whole book is about. We'll be here until next Shabbat without having read the same thing over. Saying the same thing, Aki. Amos. I think I'm going to close with this, y'all. Oh, I want to answer that question too. Amos, the 3rd chapter, verse 1.
Hear this word that Yahuwah hath spoken against you, O children of Yasharah, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Israel, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth.
You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Not meaning he didn't know the other nations of the earth, but he means know in a biblical sense, right? He knew her. Right. That's what he means. Covenant, marriage, that's what he means. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Go ahead.
Therefore will I punish you for all your iniquities.
That's why they're not being punished. You being punished, Aki. You being punished, sister. You with the thread of your life driving down the street. Driving next to Becky, driving the Beetle right next to you. Two separate realities. And she do more dirt than you do. Huh? Come on. You know? But he said, you will I punish for all your iniquities, because we're the covenant people. We're the chosen people. They can get away with stuff because our job was to teach them the truth.
Right.
There were not supposed to be no Catholic churches, Baptist churches. They were supposed to be YAH temples, right? We were supposed to be teaching them about the Sabbath. We supposed to be teaching them about eating clean foods, the sanctified diet. People say dietary law. I hate that term, dietary law. It's the sanctified diet. Because I'm saved, sanctified, filled with the Spirit. Oh yeah, what you have for breakfast this morning? Huh? Why you saved, sanctified, filled with the Spirit? When you read sanctified in the scriptures, it's going to always point to what?
Set apart.
All right, but it also always point to food. When you look up sanctified, 9 times out of 10, it's going to point to your diet, sanctified. That's what it's going to do. Look it up for yourself and see it. Sanctified, the diet that you eat. And we think we can eat anything, and that's what I'm saying. So we can't eat anything we want. But you got Asians that can eat anything they want. Huh? Bruce Lee, I don't think he was sanctified at all. That dude was like, man, he could do anything he wanted to. He said, I'm going to punish you for your iniquities. Put that pork chop in your mouth and see what's going to happen to you. They can eat that pork chop.
Exactly.
They can eat them chitlins.
That's right.
You can't. Ain't that something? Mm-hmm. So, real quick, Genesis the 15th chapter answers this question about the 400 years. That's 400 years doctrine sound real good, right? I would love to think that in this time.
I wish it was true.
Huh?
I wish it was true.
Absolutely. Who don't wish it?
I would teach.
Huh? Absolutely. Absolutely. This is our year, y'all. 2019. It's gonna happen. Right. Based off of what? People read the one verse and they run away with it. Genesis, the 15th chapter. And let's look at that. Verse 12. Genesis 15 and 12.
And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, and lo, a horror of great darkness fell upon him. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that your seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years.
Right. So people be trying to count it. Well, wait a minute, what, 400 years, whatever? No, we were there for 400 years. Afflicting is relative. And when I say relative, let me say it like this. Oprah Winfrey got all the money in the world. Huh? All the money in the world. Right? Oh, she's afflicted. As a Hebrew woman, she's afflicted. All of these people that we look at that got all the money in the world, you see them go through stuff like, damn. Because they have to continue to remind you of who you are. Afflicted. So I'm just saying it's relative. If you read in the book of Daniel, we're not going to go there. Daniel 9 chapter, Daniel 9, and he's paraphrasing, he's praying. He took off his clothes and put on sackcloth. And he prayed, he said, because these are the curses that Moses spoke about. Right? But Daniel was straight. Daniel himself was a president in the Babylonian kingdom. He himself wasn't suffering. And not only was he not suffering, he endeared himself to King Nebuchadnezzar, right? Because Nebuchadnezzar threw him in the lion's den. And when he woke up that morning, and Nebuchadnezzar loved him even as he was thrown in the lion's den. And he got scared. And when he opened the door, Daniel, are you? And Daniel said, hey, the Father got me here, you know. But still, Daniel wasn't looking at his own condition. He looked at his condition equal with the people, and we are suffering these curses. You see what I'm saying? See, one of the rich among us, they can't really see. More so than not, they have a mentality that if I can pull myself up by the bootstraps, you should be able to do the same thing. Right? That's how they look at it. You know? But that's not the reality. Because Satan can bless you too. He can. Okay. Here, real quick, Genesis 15 chapter. Know that thy seed shall be a stranger, Abraham, in a land that is not theirs, and they shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. 14.
And also that nation whom they shall serve I will judge, and afterwards shall they come out with great substance. And thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace. You shall be buried in a good old age.
Okay, so we done already read the 400 years. And if you ain't reading no more, you be like, they gotta be talking about us. 400 years. But you gotta keep reading and see what he said. He says, and also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterwards shall they come out with great substance. But you, Abram, you shall go to your fathers in peace, and you shall be buried in a good old age. But here it is. What did it say?
But in the fourth generation they shall come here again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full.
So the Amorites are part of the Canaanites, right? That's the promised land. Abraham is living in that promised land. And he says, look, the fourth and third and fourth generation, they shall come here again. The third and fourth generation is the first generation that first went into the Egypt of Mizraim. By the third or fourth generation is when they're going to come back here. How many generations was that ago?
400.
Huh?
400 years.
Yeah, but how many generations have that been since 2019?
Oh, 400.
You see what I'm saying? So he said the third and fourth generation, the generation that goes into that place, because you're going to be buried with your fathers. But in the third and fourth generation, they shall come here again. Here, right here in Canaan, they should come here again. So Moses and them were part of that third and fourth generation that came back to Canaan. after the Father delivered them out of Mizraim, right?
It's just reading and comprehension.
Right.
Because even Yahshua was 42 generations from.
There.
That's
right.
42 right there.
Right. Exactly. You know, and speaking of which, then you go into Acts 7 chapter and read it. He lets you know that the 400 years was back then when that's Stephen speaking to the people.
Chapter 4, yeah.
Yeah, is that 4 or 7 or one of them?
What 7?
Oh,
7, yeah. Huh? Yeah. He let you know this already happens. 400 years. But see, we read that one verse and we think it applies to us. Another reason why we know it don't apply to us because prophecy had to take place.
He said
Which he dealt with. Huh?
He said afterward they will come out with great substance.
Afterward they would come out with great substance.
Come out yet.
Right. And it's funny too, because you got presidents talking about reparations now, which is kind of cool, you know. And if that happened, but the thing is, we know that there's prophecy that had to take place. We got 3.5 years of prophecy specifically, and we ain't got that first year prophecy yet. He dealt with it earlier. See, that's what those of us that understand the prophecies. No, stuff don't just happen spur of the moment. The Father's word is true, and it's going to go exactly the way He plans it to go. He said He shall not come again until that man of sin be revealed, the son of iniquity. Who's that man of sin?
Satan.
Huh? But the man of sin that's controlled by Satan, who is that?
The Antichrist.
Right, and who is he?
I don't know.
I don't know either, sister. He said He won't come again until He be revealed.
Right.
And when He be revealed, we all are going to know who He is. Oh, there's something else I wanted to read too. I have to read it. Ezekiel 39. I love this. And this, I'm closing out with this.
But you know what? Another thing too with that is when you think about that 400 years, right? You can't make that prophecy only applicable to the North American captivity.
Correct.
Because Israel was scattered to the four corners.
Correct.
So when does their 400-year clock start?
Correct. Absolutely. We the last of the captivity. Because we had already been everywhere else. Matter of fact, Isaiah 11 chapter tells you where He's going to bring us out from. Right?
Okay.
Don't fit that 12 tribe chart, do it.
No, I don't.
Wow.
Ezekiel 39?
Yeah, no, it's not Ezekiel. I think it's Deuteronomy I'm looking at. Oh, no. I'm sorry. It is Ezekiel 39. End this on a great note, y'all. I love this. It's powerful. Start this at verse 21.
And I will set my honor among the heathen, and all the heathen shall see my judgment.
Right, the heathen, y'all. These heathens. When I call these people heathens, man, don't get mad at me. When I call them my enemy, don't get mad because I'm not giving you my feelings about it. I have Gentile friends. I have a Gentile sister I love that comes to our class every Shabbat. I don't know if right, she watching now? I don't know if she was the first person who bought my book or you was the first person who bought my book, but both of them, she did a video. Hey, I got my homework to do today. I ain't even seen the book yet. And she posted it, turned the page and everything. Yeah. That sister will tell you, she'll tell you that about a good 10 years ago, in 2003, when I came to Jacksonville, Florida, and we had Shabbat, I was the only Israelite in the whole class. And I teach the class. All these Gentiles, they wanted to hear the word. Israel didn't want to hear it. I had a class of about 8 Gentiles in the class. She was there with her husband and a few other people.
Wow.
So you know.
Amazing.
But you see, and you say amazing, but the truth of the matter is that there are people of every nationality that don't like being deceived, that want this truth. He set us apart, sanctified, to be a holy priest nation. Not to wear this on my sleeve. I'm a Hebrew, I'm an Israelite, this, that, and the other. That's not what he did. Because he told us throughout the thing, y'all was the worst. Y'all wasn't the best. Y'all were the fewest, not the most. If it was not the love that I had for your father Abraham, y'all would be done. Throughout the whole Torah, how many times did he threaten to destroy us? Destroy us, and Mo stepped in a few times. Father, if you destroy them, then wipe my name up out of the book of life. That
So did. And then he ended up having the love for us, and he didn't make it into the land.
and bro, come on, oh man, people don't understand this walk because they got him so upset. And the scripture said that he was the meekest man on the face of the earth. But at a point in time, it was like, now I'm tired of y'all, tired of this rebellion. How often shall I do this for y'all? Complaining, murmuring. That's why I put that in there. Every chapter they murmuring. I want us to see how wicked we are as a people, man. So we'll wake up, because we are the worst people on the face of the earth. We're blessed as a peculiar nation because the Father loves us. But just as the way that we are, the way that we function, man, it's just sad, you know. But we function like that even when we knew who we were. It ain't just because of slavery that we function like this. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why I wrote that book, man, just so people could really see Shemaiah who he was. Because we don't really know him like that, you know what I'm saying? As a cat that was for 40 years trying to intercede for us, trying to show us a better way to show them the Father's word so that we will be this mighty holy nation, but we on a whole nother mindset. Prejudice at other people, just ain't trying to follow the truth, nothing, trip setting, trying to be something we wasn't. That mindset was crazy. And so again, when it got to almost the end of it, he was like, man, look, I'm tired. And when he struck the rock and the water came out, Father said, you didn't sanctify me, so therefore you can't go into the land. And at that point, anybody else would have been like, well, yeah, I'm done. But that ain't what he did. He still accepted his punishment. Still,
yeah.
Huh?
Accepting the punishment.
That's right.
Right. And still maintain the role that he was doing, because he knew the Father was real. We didn't know the Father's real after all the stuff the Father was doing for us. We still couldn't see it. It's crazy. But where we at? Yeah, here you go. Pick that up.
And I will set my honor among
What verse you are?
21.
Right.
Ezekiel 39:21. And I will set my honor among the heathen, and all the heathen shall see my judgment that I have executed, and my hand that I have laid upon them. So the house of Yahshua shall know that I am Yahuwah, their Elohim, from that day and forward.
Right. So we don't know it. Collectively, we don't know it. We are the elect, the called out ones, right? We have decided that we're going to reject all the stuff that we've been taught, the traditions of man and all that, and serve the Most High, the first fruits. That's who we are.
Okay.
You don't have to be here. You don't have to be here. You could be right across the street at the mall with everybody else, shopping and doing all these things on this Sabbath day. You don't have to be here, but the Father put it in your spirit that if it's just one person here, 2 people here, 3 people here, you're going to do what you know the Father led you to do. That's powerful. And that is not something that any of us should take for granted. Right? Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Wait, okay. I'm going to read it.
22.
22 again?
Uh-huh.
So the house of Yahshua shall know that I am Yahuwah, their Elohim, from that day forward.
Uh-huh.
And the heathen shall know that the house of Yahshua went into captivity for their iniquity, because they trespassed against me. Therefore hid I my face from them.
That's what he did. See, I don't care how long you pray, if he hid his face from you, from us as a nation, it is what it is. Try being obedient and then pray, and maybe he'll look, you know, and bring his mercy upon us. But he told us right here, as a people, he hid his face from us. Go ahead.
Therefore hid I my face from them and gave them into the hand of their enemies.
Our enemies. They are our enemies. We didn't make that up, bro. If I know that some people put my mother and father in chains, took their heritage, changed their name, and Pat, it was not good. I'm just singling you out, but it just wasn't good for you. You know, you did everything with your power to stay out of the view. Because if you was in the view of that slave master, he did whatever he wanted with you, however long he wanted with you. And you had all these mulatto children, and you didn't have no choice in the matter. Like they got this commercial with Ancestry. Y'all seen that commercial? Ancestry.com got a commercial where the master talks to the slave woman. He's saying, look, we can leave this place, we can go across. It's a controversial, but he tried to make it seem like there was like these love affairs. Huh?
Yeah, like some kind of romance.
Romance, yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Same thing they do with Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings.
Right.
You know.
But then they tell you that a supervisor can't date an employee.
That's correct.
And they can't. There's no consensual with them. There's no consent.
It's no consent. Absolutely no consent. I'll use a child for an example.
Yeah. There's no
Little Sally, you 13 years old.
Right.
You know, your mother and father, I know you don't like how they doing. Come with me. You know, 13 years old. Come on with me. And, you know, so you think she has the righteous power the ability to say, yeah? No, she does not. I don't care what I'm offering to her. So that was the same thing with a slave. Because the thing is, I'm going to deliver you that, but your thing is that, you know, me and you going to do this thing, continue to. And that just got sick.
I got a question for you. This is how Christians would view that passage you just read where it said that Yah said he will hide his face from them. So what they would say to us is, well, who's answering my prayer? Because I know Jesus is answering my prayers. And they'll give you some examples. You know, I prayed for this new job, and I got this new job, and I prayed for this new house, and I'm walking into my house tomorrow. You know, how would you address them?
Or I prayed for that healing, and I was healed.
So are you saying that that God is hiding his face from us to this day?
As a nation, absolutely, yes. Because we have not returned unto him. And he told us that
We are.
Huh?
This is.
Right, I'm talking about collectively as a people. I'm not saying that the Father don't bless me. And so to answer your question, the thing that I understand is this. If you want to give credit to the Father for blessing you with a new house, blessing you with a new car and all that, then guess what? Much is given, much is required. Because I'm not going to debate you whether the Father did it. I'm going to sit here and watch and see if you're going to maintain being worthy of that. Because see, if the Father blessed me with X, Y, and Z, I got sense enough to understand I can't just do whatever I want to do. That's the problem we have. He blessed me with this stuff because I am more righteous than all of you in here. I must be doing something right. That's why, no, that's not true.
But then I would ask, then my response to them would be, there are people who don't believe in God at all.
And that's true too.
And they have houses,
that's true
cars,
too. That's true too.
They have good jobs.
That's true too.
And he ain't involved in that.
Absolutely. But I think I know where you were going, because the truth of, like I said before, Satan is in the blessing business too.
Right.
You know.
So you know,
you mind if I do it?
Come on, bro. Come on, man. I ain't even know you still here. Come on, speak.
No, brother, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here listening. In my opinion, what you got to realize too is that the enemy is not going to come looking like himself. So how is he going to come looking like himself? He has to look like the Father and the Son in order for you to accept him. So he's got to present some things to you so that you'll accept his deception. So when people are telling me Jesus healed them, or Jesus blessed them, or Jesus whatever they say he did. Well, I can see that, because if the enemy is going to look like, if the enemy is going to let you see him, then he has to show you him as the Messiah. He can't show you him as the enemy.
Right.
So that's the way I see it.
Yeah. Hey, good point. Absolutely a good point. Absolutely. So that's the reason why I say, hey,
Can I share
if
something?
that's, oh yeah.
All right, so, you know, this is kind of intertwined, but let me build it a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. So, you share the word with somebody. You meet Susie Q, whatever, and you telling her, look, the Creator has a name. It's important to him that we know him by his name. The Creator has these laws, these commandments. One of them being honor your mother, honor your father. You know that one. But it also says observe the Shabbat.
Right. 7th day, right.
So we can't take